Well, tonight we begin with that breaking news. A horrific discovery. 2 children found dead, their bodies stuffed in a freezer.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Be my first segment of Brushes and Justice. I'm going to be shedding the light on the injustices that goes on in our community specifically. So Michelle Blair grew up in the city of Detroit, Michigan. She was about, I want to say, about 36 years old when she got caught. But let me tell you about Miss Blair. So Miss Blair, she had been there children, in the words of Beyonce. She is a single mom. She got 3 kids. She living in the city of Detroit, in a little neighborhood. I think she had a job. You know, she was, just a regular person. Actually, she went by the nickname of Angel, so I really feel like she was a nice person. Like, the hood respected her for being nice. Like, she probably was real sweet, real sweet. But Miss Blair, she had a devil in her. Okay, so basically, she comes home from work one day. She finds her son, like, basically taking 2, like, dolls and, like, doing little nasty stuff with the dolls, okay? So, boom, she like, son, why you doing that? Where you seen this at? You a little boy, where did you learn that from? So the little boy like, oh, well, my siblings, my brother, he did that to me. So that's how I learned how to do it. Like, he showed me the ropes, basically. So Blair, mad, big mad. She goes and confronts her son. So pause before I tell y'all what happened. Let me tell y'all something about Miss Blair. Growing up, Miss Blair experienced a sexual trauma, and she basically told her mom about it, and her mom didn't do anything. Like, her mom just kind of like brushed it under the rug, kept going around her assaulter, and Miss Blair, like, she kept this bottled in. Like, fast forward back to 35-year-old Michelle Blair. So she goes to confront this son because my other son just told me that you been touching on him. So what's going on? When I say, y'all, she beat this boy to death, literally beat him to death. Like, literally beat him and torture him to death. Pour hot water all over him and choked him. Poured Windex down his throat. Yo, it was too much. His little body couldn't handle it because he's a child, little baby, and this is a big grown woman. So he dies, and instead of Miss Blair, deciding like, oh, well, I know I was angry, let me at least take him to the hospital. Let me at least, go confess what I did. Because it's crazy. It's crazy that she didn't, she wanted to conceal this crime. She put him in her freezer.
Went back upstairs and started punching Stephen until he said he would tell the truth. How long has Stephen been in the freezer? I want to say 2 years.
Okay. So now, months later, after he's dead and he's been sitting in their freezer, so little boy comes and say, Mom, my sister did the same thing. She used to do the same thing. So Miss Blair, she does a repeat. She repeats basically the same thing. She decides she's going to torture this girl, beat her to death, do everything in her power to hurt this person, and the girl dies. So, another dead child. So guess where the second dead child goes? She pops her in the freezer.
Yeah, just when we thought we've heard it all, this is very, very tough to take. An 8-page confession, handwritten. It is Michelle Blair's story, and her reasoning is twisted and beyond. She's also said this, confessed in court.
Everybody want to know, yes, I did kill her!
That's Michelle Blair in court last Thursday, where the state is asking the judge to terminate her parental rights to 2 living kids, a 17-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old boy. In her confession, she says she killed 15-year-old Stony Ann Blair and 8-year-old Stephen Barry because they were harming her youngest son since he was in diapers. She said she asked the kids more questions and then, quote, "How long has Stony been in the freezer? About 1 year. She died May 25th, but I don't remember the year. It's a blur. When did Stephen die? August 30th, maybe 2012. In court last week, Blair said Stony had been harming her youngest son and put poop on his head. Back to the confession, quote, "What exactly did you do to Stephen? Punched everywhere. I choked him. I kicked him." And she described scalding him with hot water in the bathtub. She said he died about a week later and that it was witnessed by 2 kids.
So now we got 2 deceased children in our living room freezer. Now, mind you, these children are grade school age. The kids started asking, where they at? Where they at? Where these children at? Miss Blair, oh, they homeschool. I'm homeschooling them. I'm homeschooling them. Okay, nobody's gonna question that, cause you're their mother. She's their mom, so nobody raised an eyebrow. But somehow CPS got involved because there's 2 children that are missing school for months, years. Now it's years, like probably 2 years. These kids haven't been to school. Their neighbors haven't seen them. So CPS gets involved. Where are these children at? Yeah, this part kind of annoyed me because I did not understand. Like, CPS, Child Protective Services, you got one job, and that's to protect. So how the heck did you miss this not once, but 2 times? How did you miss dead kids not once, but twice? Like, literally, CPS got called twice. And these kids is in the freezer. These children were literally failed like that. Like, y'all had one job. So now we got 2 dead children in the freezer, right? Neighborhoods looking for them. CPS checking for them. They did. So I don't know what CPS thought that they was gonna get out of that, but apparently they thought that they was gonna get something out of that. So all in all, finally, 2 years later, after these kids been in the freezer for 2 years, the sheriff discovered them in the freezer.
We have new video just in showing the mother, 35-year-old Michelle Blair, being arrested by Detroit police, her hands cuffed behind her back. What could have led to such a tragic end for these 2 young lives?
Miss Blair, she get caught, right? Do y'all know this lady sitting in court? I did what I did. I don't want no trial. Send me to jail because I ain't about to hide.
Punishment for what you did. Is that right?
For what he did to
Yes. For what Stephen did. That was punishment.
And if I had killed Stephen intentionally, I definitely would be proud to say I did. But I didn't. But I know all the things that I did to him, how I hurt him, I know it did cause his death. If I'm already giving myself to like, hey, I did this, what's the problem? You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna come back like, oh, I didn't understand my rights. No, I'm not a coward. You get what I'm saying? All I know is this. My son is 8 years old right now. He's gonna forget a lot about me, okay? When he look back at all this media coverage from these Bible feeders, I don't want him to see that I stood here like a coward. I did what I did, and I did what I did for my baby, period. He gonna see me standing up, taking my responsibility. I will happily do life in prison for my child. That's period. So I don't understand what other paperwork.
All Alright, so I gotta respect her for keeping it 100, for not trying to take our jury, you know, our taxpayers, you know, taking them off of work to persecute her. Cause you know, like you got the right to a trial in America. So I appreciate her for, you know, looking out for the people. But at the same time, girl, if you was okay with what you did, why did you put them in the freezer? Why didn't you kill them and then go to the police and tell the police that you killed them? Why would you just sit in that house?
Did you contact the police? Yes, just to give them, the kids, a scenario about what would happen. If one sibling is abusing another, they would go to juvenile. Did you call for medical assistance? No. Why not? Because I was scared. After you finished holding him, what did you do with Stephen's body? I wrapped him in his favorite Paul Frank comforter with monkeys on it and put him in the freezer. Did the other kids see you do that? Put Stephen in the freezer? No. What did you do with your daughter, Stony? I punched her so hard because she was still doing that to the youngest son. The confession moves through time and details are too gruesome for TV. Did she stop breathing at some point? Yes, that's what did it. That's what I did to kill her. Did anyone else witness this? No. What did you do with the body, Stony's body? I put her in the freezer on top of Stephen. I didn't wrap her with anything. She later showed the living kids the bodies in the freezer. What was their reaction? The daughter was crying a lot. The son, who is now only 8, was just looking at me and said, "You're going to be in trouble." The confession was signed Michelle Blair at 6:51 p.m., about 8 hours after her arrest on March 24th.
I literally just wanted to talk about her in my first Justice and Brushes session because it is beyond me. It is beyond me that you can take the life of your own children. And for this person, Michelle, to do this to her children, that just lets you know what kind of demons are walking. Like, you have to be demonic. You're not even human at this point. It's nothing even human about you. You can't be human. Like, you, come on, no. Miss Blair is currently housed with the Michigan Department of Corrections, and she is serving a life sentence right now. I mean, justice was definitely served. I definitely wish that those children didn't have to experience such a traumatic, a fatal / traumatic ending. They didn't deserve that at all. So my condolences goes out to them and their family. This video is no disrespect to the victims or their family or even the defendant involved. It's just my opinion and me just shedding light on the injustices that goes on in our community. So yeah, I just gotta say, side note, I definitely don't stand for inappropriate behavior with minors, but I feel like Miss Blair should have considered her audience. These were children, and that the only way that we can break generational curses is if we get to the root. So if your child or comes to you and tell you that somebody is doing something inappropriate to them, then that everything that we do as humans is because it's learned behavior, unless it's like a reflex or something like naturally, like we walk and talk because that's something that we can do. But anything secondary to walking, talking, and breathing, we learn it. We pick it up from our environment. Everything that I'm doing, I am doing it because I saw somebody else do it, and now I'm doing it my way. And that's just human behavior. So as a child, children don't know any better. They only do what they see. And I think a lot of parents have the Michelle Blair syndrome. They beat the heck out of their children for being children instead of talking to them, trying to guide them and trying to teach them how to be, because children have to grow up. And unfortunately for these two children, they're never going to be able to grow up because they their fate ended in their mom's freezer because of something that they did that more than likely, somebody was doing to them. Somebody did it to them first. And they were just imitating. Maybe they saw you doing it. Michelle, did you ever think about that? Maybe they saw you and your boyfriend getting it on, so they wanted to see what it was like. Because that's what children do. But you will never get the chance. Your children will never get the chance to have children. They'll never get the chance to experience, to know what it's like, what it means to love and be loved by somebody other than you. So I know that those children would have grew up beautiful. And you robbed them from that. Off of something that you should have nipped it in the bud. Now whoever did that to them children, they're still out there doing it to other children. They still out there. Because that's the way it works. That's the life cycle. That's the circle of life. Nothing is new under the sun. But justice was definitely served. Definitely served for those children. That monster, demonic spirit, whatever we want to call her, she is never going to see the day of light. She is not eligible for parole, and she's not going to be. She got life without parole because she was very, very, very adamant about having no remorse for killing those children. And if you like this video, if you enjoy content like this, hit that thumbs up button because it really helps me out. It helps me achieve those goals that I'm trying to obtain for myself, and it also inspires me to make more content like this. So yeah, definitely hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this, because we're not leaving, sis. We ain't leaving. We got to tell you what's going on in the world, because if you don't know, how you gonna be aware? If I don't tell you, who gonna tell you? So instead of watching Snap, binge watching on Snap, come to my channel and, let me learn you something. Go check out my latest video. Like, you already here. So go ahead, grab a cup of tea, grab your little water bottle, because I'm a little thirsty. Grab your little water bottle, your little tea, your little coffee, whatever you drink, and come on. But yeah, stay tuned for my next video. Bye.